Your body can need water before you feel thirsty. Plain water is not the enemy. But hydration is more than one glass. Timing, meals, sweat, medication, minerals, and routine can change what your body actually does with fluid.
For decades, we've basically treated hydration like a simple math problem. Drink a certain number of ounces of plain water at totally random times during the day and you're good to go, right? Well, actually, believing hydration is just about chugging large volumes of plain water is a major oversimplification. It completely ignores how mature vascular systems actually process fluids. And to be clear, it's not that plain water is wrong, absolutely not. Water is the essential foundation. The real issue is that we've been looking at hydration in total isolation.
Section 1. Beyond the glass, the complete hydration context. To truly understand circulation, we really need to look at the overlooked mechanisms of hydration. We have to see how the body dynamically interacts with minerals, antioxidants, and timing. It's about recognizing that the glass of water you drink isn't just dropping into an empty tank. It's entering a really complex, active biological environment that is constantly trying to maintain balance. Because as the body matures, kidney efficiency naturally shifts. Even our natural thirst signals subtly change. That means by the time you actually feel thirsty, you might already be playing catch-up. Ultimately, your fluid needs depend heavily on individual contextual factors. Did you just walk the dog in the heat? What prescription medications are you taking? What bioactive compounds are in your diet? It is so much more than just hitting a daily ounce goal. So, moving away from a simple volume checklist toward what we call contextual hydration involves a real mindset shift. It means recognizing how specific bioactive compounds interact with your unique cardiovascular environment. When we add the right contextual tools to our fluids, we aren't performing some miracle trick. We're simply providing the vascular system with the exact materials it needs to support healthier circulation. Throughout this explainer, we're going to look at 5 specific educational examples from scientific literature that perfectly illustrate this concept in action.
Section 2. Minerals and potassium balance.
Our first educational example focuses on a fundamental mechanism in the body, mineral balance. Because maturing kidneys manage the critical sodium-potassium balance a little less efficiently, introducing bioavailable potassium can gently support blood pressure regulation. You can think of sodium and potassium kind of like a seesaw in your bloodstream. When one goes up, the other needs to go down for your vascular system to stay balanced. But over time, that seesaw can get a bit sticky. A fascinating study at the University of the West Indies looked at mature adults who replaced just one daily glass of water with natural coconut water. And over 8 weeks, the researchers observed an average 11-point drop in systolic blood pressure. It beautifully illustrates how bioavailable potassium helps that biological seesaw move smoothly again.
But the context goes way deeper than just potassium. Coconut water also delivers cytokines, which are plant compounds linked to reducing vascular oxidative stress. And if you're wondering what oxidative stress is, it's essentially cellular wear and tear. It's almost like rust forming inside your arterial tissue. As we mature, our body's natural antioxidant defenses can drop significantly. So by drinking raw, unsweetened coconut water, you're literally introducing a contextual defense. And here's a great little routine tip for you. Pairing it with a handful of magnesium-rich pumpkin seeds can further support healthy muscle contraction in the heart.
Section 3. Addressing vascular inflammation.
Let's see how this builds on the idea of vascular context by talking about inflammation. Chronic, low-grade systemic inflammation, which is sometimes called inflammaging, can actually cause your blood vessel walls to stiffen and narrow. And when vessels narrow, it directly strains your circulation because your blood simply has to push harder to get through. Well, this brings us to tart cherry water. In an educational study published in the European Journal of Nutrition, mature adults consuming tart cherry water saw a 25% reduction in inflammatory markers, specifically C-reactive protein, in just 2 weeks. Tart cherries are packed with these deep red pigments called anthocyanins, plus naturally occurring melatonin. By addressing that low-grade inflammaging context, the blood vessels are supported so they can remain a bit more relaxed and flexible.
But the routine here is absolutely key. The educational takeaway is stirring 2 tablespoons of unsweetened tart cherry concentrate into water in the evening. But the crucial point is step 3, adding a small pinch of black pepper. Now, why pepper? Well, black pepper introduces a compound called piperine, which has actually been shown to enhance the body's absorption of those protective anthocyanins by up to 20%. It's a perfect example of how timing and synergy completely change how your body utilizes a drink.
Section 4. Supporting vascular elasticity.
So over the decades, blood vessels naturally lose some of their elasticity. They become less responsive, partly due to advanced glycation end products, or AGs for short. You can kind of think of AGs as acting like a biological caramelization happening right inside the artery walls, making them stiff. This is where green tea comes into play, specifically because it contains a powerful compound called EGCG. Think of EGCG like a key that fits right into the cellular locks on your blood vessel walls, signaling them to trigger vasodilation. That's the process where vessels relax and widen. In fact, researchers at Vanderbilt University connected this regular green tea habit to a 32% lower incidence of cognitive decline in mature adults. It really highlights how vital healthy vascular flow is to the brain.
But again, context and preparation are everything. Boiling water actually destroys the EGCG. The science suggests brewing at 175 degrees Fahrenheit and steeping for exactly 3 minutes. And the synergy tip? Add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. Purdue University researchers found that the vitamin C in lemon stabilizes the EGCG in your digestive tract, increasing its bioavailability by up to 13 times. So you aren't just drinking tea, you're strategically delivering a protective compound.
Section 5. Potent botanical support. Hibiscus.
Hibiscus utilizes its anthocyanins and organic compounds, particularly hibiscus acid, to operate on pathways that are remarkably similar to natural ACE inhibitors. Now, in mainstream medicine, ACE inhibitors are used to help blood vessels avoid constriction. Hibiscus supports a very similar biological goal, but through entirely natural dietary pathways. The clinical literature on this is pretty fascinating. Trials in the Journal of Hypertension and at Tufts University noted significant reductions in systolic pressure and LDL cholesterol. These specific pathways are exactly why we see such profound, documented improvements when hibiscus is consumed regularly.
However, I need to pause right here for a very important point. Because hibiscus operates on these specific vascular pathways and is so incredibly potent, it is essential, strictly essential, for anyone currently taking blood pressure medications to consult their doctor before adding it to their routine. This is to prevent any unwanted interactions. And guys, this isn't just a standard disclaimer, it's responsible medical education. Your doctor can help you safely integrate these contextual tools.
Section 6. The nitric oxide factor.
This next example addresses arguably the most critical molecule for vascular health, and that's nitric oxide. Over the decades, the body's natural production of nitric oxide declines by roughly 50%. Nitric oxide is what maintains flexible, widened arteries. So when half of this critical molecule is just gone, it becomes a primary reason why physical stamina can drop and blood pressure dynamics change as we mature. This brings us to beetroot water. Beetroot is the richest dietary source of nitrates, which your body converts directly into nitric oxide. Harvard-affiliated research looked at mature adults who consumed dietary nitrates from beetroot extract daily, and they experienced a 38% improvement in arterial flexibility in just 4 weeks, measured by the gold standard of pulse wave velocity. This acts as a great educational example showing how the body can replace raw materials naturally lost over time.
The practical context for beetroot is crucial here. It's actually best consumed about 90 minutes before physical activity, whether that's a brisk morning walk or tending to the garden. The University of Exeter noted this specific timing led to 16% longer activity before fatigue in mature adults. For synergy, try pairing it with vitamin C, like a bell pepper or some orange juice, to dramatically enhance the stability of that nitric oxide in your bloodstream. And, just as a totally harmless side note, it may cause beetroturia, which safely tints your digestion red, so definitely don't be alarmed if you see that.
Section 7. The garden analogy.
To ground all of this science, we can look at a very simple visual analogy for how the body handles fluids. Hydration is like watering a garden. The amount matters, but so does timing, weather, soil, sunlight, and what the plant already received earlier in the day. One glass is only one moment in a larger system. Just like a garden, your vascular system requires the right nutrients at exactly the right time. Simply dumping a bucket of water on a dry plant all at once isn't nearly as effective as steady, nutrient-rich soil management.
Section 8. Practical Educational Takeaway.
So the crucial point to take away from this explainer is this. These specific drinks, coconut water, tart cherry, green tea, hibiscus, and beetroot, they are not instant medical cures. They don't just magically fix everything overnight. Rather, they're brilliant educational examples of how providing your mature vascular system with the right contextual tools can support healthier circulation. They speak the biological language that your changing body understands. As you consider how timing, routine, and bioactives impact your own body, remember that true wellness is a comprehensive picture. Plain water is vital, absolutely, but the context you build around it is what actually allows you to thrive. Always consult a qualified health professional about your unique needs. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Which hydration context will you discuss with your healthcare professional to better support your daily wellness routine?